Today, we're diving into a really cool program that tackles a problem that, let's be honest, students, colleges, and employers know all too well. We're going to look at a blueprint for building actual, real-world skills right there on campus. You know the one, right? It's that classic career catch-22. You need experience to land a job, but how are you supposed to get experience if no one will hire you in the first place? It's this super frustrating loop that leaves so many talented students just stuck. And here's the wild part. While all these students are desperate for experience, their own colleges are often swimming in work they can't get to. I mean, they're sitting on these mountains of data and have a huge list of programming needs, but their professional staff, they're totally stretched thin. It's this massive disconnect happening right on campus. So yeah, let's break down this campus catch-22, because once you really understand the problem from both sides, you'll see just how brilliant the solution really is. For the schools, especially the smaller ones, the needs are just all over the place. We're talking everything from analyzing IT help desk tickets to building a visual database for the theater department. There's just not enough staff to go around. Meanwhile, for students, it's that classic skills gap. You know, coursework teaches you the theory, but it doesn't really prepare you for the messy, complicated real-world projects you're going to face. So, how do you fix a problem like that? Well, Carleton College came up with this really elegant solution they call the Data Squad. And it creates this amazing win-win-win for literally everyone on campus. So what is it? At its heart, the Data Squad is a work-study program. But look, this is not your average campus job. It's a highly structured system where students get trained to handle real data projects for real clients, like faculty and staff, all inside this framework of peer mentorship. And this quote from their own job description just gets right to the point. The mission is really twofold. First, provide a super valuable service to the campus community. And second, by doing that, give students a place to actually build and apply their tech skills on projects that really matter. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does this thing actually work? Because it's not just about, throwing students at a bunch of problems. The whole thing is built on this idea of learning by doing together. The team actually has this kind of semi-hierarchical structure. You've got technical writers who handle all the documentation. Then there are assistant data scientists doing the hands-on data wrangling. Lead data scientists manage the different project steps, and a project management intern helps keep an eye on the whole operation. So everyone has their own clear but totally connected role. And right here, this is the secret sauce. This is what makes it all click. The model intentionally pairs the programmers with technical writers who might be total beginners when it comes to code. And this forces the programmers to learn how to explain complicated technical stuff in plain English. They can't just mumble, "it works." They have to explain how and why it works. And that is such a critical skill that's so often missed in tech classes. But does it actually work? Like, for real? To find out, the program surveyed its alumni. And the results, well, they reveal a pretty powerful truth about which skills really matter in the long run. First off, let's look at what skills the students themselves felt they developed, and the results are seriously impressive. Technical documentation, data wrangling, and teamwork all scored way up high, which shows the program is successfully building both those hard technical skills and those crucial collaborative ones. Okay, so they learned a ton. That's great. But here's the real test, right? What was the most valuable thing after graduation? What skills actually made the biggest difference in their professional lives? And this is where it gets really, really interesting. The most influential skills were not the purely technical ones. Things like technical documentation and effective teamwork came out right on top. They ranked even higher than straight-up coding. It just goes to show that the ability to communicate and work with other people, that's the real game changer in today's workplace. This quote from an alumnus just says it all. He said the number one thing was learning to document his work and explain its value to other people. See, that's that secret sauce we were talking about, playing out in the real world. So the students definitely got some invaluable skills, but were the clients happy? Was the work any good? Well, the answer is a huge yes. An average recommendation score of 8.56 out of 10, that pretty clearly shows the program is delivering high-quality service. And when you dig into the client feedback, you get a really balanced picture. They loved the quality of the work and how easy the process was. The main area for improvement? The speed of delivery, which honestly isn't that surprising, right? These are students with classes, working limited hours, but it's super valuable, constructive feedback. So what are the big lessons here? What can we take away that applies way beyond just this one campus? Well, this leads to a really profound idea. That friction, that tension between a student who's still learning and a client with a messy real-world problem, that isn't a bug in the system. It turns out that is the system. That tension is the core learning feature. It's where all the most important growth happens. And this quote from a former project management intern, who's now a software engineer at Google, by the way, just nails it. She said the data squad gave her experience managing people and tasks, something she says you just flat out cannot learn in a regular classroom. So, if we boil this whole thing down, here are the three huge takeaways. First, you have to intentionally blend the tech skill building with communication training. Second, you gotta embrace those real, messy, ambiguous projects. That's where the magic happens. And third, use peer mentorship. It's an incredibly powerful way to scale support and share knowledge. And maybe the best part of all this isn't some secret formula they're hoarding. The entire model, from handbooks to job descriptions, is openly shared through a network called Data Squad International. The whole point is so other schools can take it and adapt it for themselves. And that brings us to our final thought. So often we see this constant flow of inexperienced students as a kind of challenge, an obstacle to getting things done. But the Data Squad model just flips that whole idea on its head, and it asks this really powerful question. What if that stream of fresh, eager minds isn't the problem at all? What if it's actually the most powerful, untapped solution we have?